Studios of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And I, Victor Opone, welcome you right here to a magnificent episode. And yes, indeed, I'm not doing it alone. Yeah, weekend is looking swell with...
It's a very beautiful Saturday, actually. I saw you mentioned beautiful. It really is beautiful. This weather was so cold this morning. I was like, should I remain in my bed? I just come here. But, welcome. Thanks for joining us again this morning, this Saturday special. My name is Florence Cheryl.
Well, there's quite a lot of things that we actually have, to run through today. It starts with the newspaper review, as you already know. Then we go on to, if we can, we actually travel a bit to see some sights, some beautiful things across the world. And yes, indeed, as usual, we're starting with the dailies and interesting stories from yesterday evening especially. But then as a gentleman that I am, I'll let the lady go first.
Well, thank you so much. This one is a very, very, very happy one on the Saturday Tribune. Joy erupts in Oyo as abducted pupils. Teachers regain freedom 56 days after the abduction. This one is really, really, really,
Finally.
Finally, it's so exciting. I'm so happy. I'm glad. And I hope that, everything is put in place to make their transition easier. Still on the Saturday Tribune front page. In 2 years, our Marjorie Commission got 22.4 billion naira for roads, order of mandate projects. That's on page 4. Oyo Osho boundary clash. I shot Shegu dead, but it was in self-defense. A suspected killer admits. Interesting. APM will reset Nigeria, says a national chairman. 2027 presidency. Shetima survives APC power intrigues. Retains position. And that's on page 5. When I saw the story yesterday, it was like Tinubu picked. I was like, okay, interesting, nice. And then on the front page, we have a picture of the pupils and the teachers and the principal also, happy and excited to be released and to be safe. On our stories inside on page 3, we have the story, the joy erupts in Oyo, abducted pupils, teachers regain freedom 56 days after, 8 terrorists arrested, some killed, says the presidency. It is a major breakthrough. No ransom was paid, Oyo State government says. Tinubu commends security forces, praise Oyo State government. Makinde, would praise them.
You have to. I mean, come on. With all the stories coming out from how the operation went, you would have to say kudos to them because it was time and time planning, despite everybody asking questions and all of that, they kept their heads cool. And according to those reports that they have served us, I think we have to give them kudos for doing a great job and collaborating together because it was a joint task force working on all of that.
I still hope that they'll give us, even if it's not in detail, to a certain extent, how exactly it went. Like maybe shoot a documentary or a movie, something. I just want to, just how were they able to pull it off? I'm really happy about this. Still on that story, Makinde thanks Tinubu Security Agency and mourns the dead. The next page, we have, in 2 years, Shagari pursues international partnership to strengthen newer workforce. PDP, SDP says Supreme Court judgment supersede FHC ruling. Nigeria in its darkest political moment, says Makinde, speaks on his presidential running mate, Bauchi government, APM, national chairman, says party will reset and reboot Nigeria. Everybody wants to reboot Nigeria. Adolabu visits burnt Ibadan market, supports victims with cash. This is another story that was really, heartbreaking when I saw it because they said the fire started very, and it was not contained really fast, was why it escalated that fast. 2027 presidency, Shetima survives APC power intrigues, retain position as Tinubu's running mate. This 2027 election, we would all see it. Insecurity, troops for multiple terrorist infiltration attempts across Borno State. UNICEF, Kano, Jigawa, Katsina launched 5-year plan to address child poverty learning crisis. Kogi West APC group warns self-acclaimed stakeholders against attacks on Faleke. And ADC briefs Tinubu on development in Nigeria's automotive industry. And page 7, INEC warns against fake CVR website, PVC delivery scam. Kogi East APC stakeholders declare support for Tinubu's re-election. Court affirms FCCPC's power to investigate airline ticket pricing complaint. On page 8, we have Orire between 6 months and 2 years. After release, survivors may move from acute shock into the silent suffering phase. This is coming from mental health experts. From the abduction of a former minister's sister and her children in Ibadan to the mass kidnapping of pupils and teachers in Orire local government area of Oyo State, kidnapping for ransom has evolved into one of Nigeria's most lucrative criminal enterprises. What was once considered an occasional crime has grown into a sophisticated underground economy, feeding on fear, insecurity, and the desperation of families willing to do anything to secure the freedom of their loved ones. In this report, the experts examine how kidnapping has become a thriving illicit industry, the factors driving its expansion, and the devastating psychological, social, and economic toll it continues to exact on victims, family, and communities across the country. You know, this still boils down to what we're saying. I hope that you are given the proper
Rehabilitation and recovery plan
that is needed. And we have this one. Yano offer a war boundary clash. I shot Shegu dead, but it was in self-defense. Suspected killer admits. Okay. Let's look for more stories. Marriage and divorce. I fell ill in UK and had to come back home. Yet my wife demanded 5 million naira. Well, we have this funny picture of the woman carrying bag and the man rather looking sick. My husband starved me, lavished money on his lovers. Woman tells in court, God will help them to, settle it. Insecurity, Nigerians are worried about the direction of the country. Yabo Sokoto ADC senatorial candidate. Our correspondent Olakunle Maruf spoke with Honorable Farouk Malami Yabo, ADC senatorial candidate for Sokoto South, former Nigerian ambassador to Jordan, and a two-time commissioner in Sokoto State. He speaks here on Sunday on sundry issues. On the entertainment now, Peter Doche, Peju Ogumola, Steve Sadiya, Ruth Kadiri to receive top honors at 2026 Bon Awards. This is the best of Nollywood awards. I wonder who would win and what category they were, Okay, special recognition awards. Well, they've done well in the industry, so I guess it's
time to reap the rewards.
Sean Damte, bombshell, drop South African content in your radio TV programs. I do not understand this. Apple Music announces Ladipo as July's featured artist for Rap Life Africa. This one is very exciting. I like it. And Society Gist,
So I bet you knew that.
And Society Gist, Babatunde Okewale celebrates 30th anniversary of St. Ives Hospital. Congratulations to him. When you're celebrating 5, it's consistency. But when you're celebrating 30, it's a legacy, and I'm happy for him. A boss of shop. Okay, let's look for more stories. You have a crying baby, your wife is nursing a child, and you don't have enough money to provide for them. Why fathers also suffer postpartum depression. Should we talk about this?
Oh, well, it's something to be spoken about. I mean, I think a lot of people do not exactly prepare the fathers for the roles that they have to play because one, they are expected to be working while the mother is there. They come back from work. A lot of them have to also do night shifts. You understand that? So I think a lot of times we do not exactly prepare the men. And it's a very important part of motherhood. When you know you're just giving birth to the child, the men are expected to also understand. And I think it's a failure of two sides that is not making a lot of people understand that the men are also involved heavily so that they are prepared. They are prepared to know that I'm going to take a long night now. I'm going to have to wake up very early to help because, I mean, she should be sleeping now.
Well, I do not believe that. You might be suffering something, but it's definitely not postpartum depression.
There is that.
For the men. Well, hardly would you see a man that wants to be really, really involved in that part. It's like we are forcing some of them. But I still don't think that.
That's because they're not preparing them. So.
You're supposed to be prepared. It's something that you should just want to do. You should just want to
No.
be there for the
No,
early.
you have to be prepared. Even the mothers have to be prepared in their roles.
But even the mothers are not prepared. They cannot run from it. You cannot run from it.
Yeah, there's a difference between I want to run from it, I cannot run from it, and being prepared. You know, there's something about I know that I just have to go through it. So it's just that phase. So there's a way I approach it. But then when I know that I want to be intentional about this thing, I know I have to do it right. It's not something I can afford to miss out on, but I have to prepare for it. You know, there's a difference there.
Everybody should be involved in the early hours of their children or their child, whichever one you have. My goal is to contribute to discovery of therapeutic option for cancer patient Amarachi Achebe says. Achebe is a first-class graduate from the Department of Biochemistry, Federal University of Technology, Owerri, for the 2024 session. She finished with a cumulative grade point of 4.60 on a scale of 5.0. In this interview, she speaks about her academic journey, amongst other things. That's on Achiever. Interesting. You know, 4.6, that's a really brainy student. Will Oshu survive this onslaught? Sam on Saturday. Makinde is bequeathing enduring legacies to Oyo State, says Aduwo. Let's look for my stories. I was misclassified as dumb and denied varsity admission for 4 years. Guna albino. The inside struggles of people living with albinism in Nigeria. Why are you smiling? On fashion, let your jewelry do the talking by Messi and Yokonle. Where are your jewelries? You should always wear them. An old woman carrying palm oil across a narrow bridge. This is book review. Vox Pop as artificial intelligence made students smarter or lazier.
That's a huge question.
Very, very huge. Let's even remove students. Has it made individuals smarter or lazier?
Well, it's a societal question, I think. We need to ask ourselves because whatever it is, whether it's AI, whether it's something else, I think a lot of times people do not exactly want to stress themselves, and then it's reducing how much of strength that they have because
and their capabilities.
Yeah, because if you're not testing yourself, if you're not doing some things consistently, you tend to actually relax those muscles a whole lot, and then you're not strong enough when something that you should be approaching.
So would you say this is something that is just happening or it has been in existence ever since?
No, different. I'm saying generally now, different things make us feel a lot more lazier and weaker when we should be. Yes, AI is good, but it should be an addition to what you're doing to make your work easier. Not that you depend on it a whole lot because you can see that you can do good things, and that's the bad part.
I believe you're getting lazier also. And on the views.com, NYC, speaking of NYC, Ankara. Is it Ankara or is it, what's
Adire.
it? Adire. Interesting. I hope they test the sustainability of that before they actually put it into play. The last institution where the son of nobody becomes somebody.
Well,
Mm, well, let's look for more stories. I do not agree with that, but on the sports African school games, FG and NOCA signed hosting agreement. Mm. What do you have to say about that?
well, it's collaborations make it work, and I'm sure that they have plans in place. But then, what's the intentionality behind the plans, the execution? That's a question about the African school games.
Mm. NFF set to empower women football administrators. World Cup, no regrets choosing Morocco over France. Boadi. Why I missed penalty in Morocco, Mbappe. And that's all I have on this Saturday Nigerian children.
All right, I've got the nation with me right about now this morning. And of course, the biggest one has to be that of the 8 kidnappers arrested as Oyo pupils and teachers regain freedom. You find the stories on pages 4 and 5. The writer says presidency, some bandits neutralized, no ransom or prisoner swap inside security operation that ended captives' 56-day ordeal. We are grateful to President, security agent says freed principal in new video. To something we have on page 6, 2027. APC predicts landslide as Tinubu retains Shetima. Party uploads details of president, VP and others. On page 2, we have quite a number of stories there. Xenophobia, last South Africa evacuation flights to bring in 300 Nigerians. 39 more evacuees arrive tonight. NDLEA arraigns drug baron, 3 Mexicans, 6 others, and that's in page 2. We have another story. Troops arrest Chadian woman ferrying drugs, alcohol to terrorists in Borno. Now let's flip to what we have on the inside page. On page 3, we have the story, airport police to arraign 2 over in-flight smoking. Residents count losses as rain floods Lagos communities. And on page 5, we have NUT, NANS orders a rescue of abducted pupils and teachers. And we have on page 7, the commentary, waiting for state police. And also on Sentry, top civil servants in soup over at DME's agency. On page 8, reflections on IGP's visit to Oshun and why Jabi Lake can make Nigeria's capital globally competitive destination. On page 9, Trump, FIFA and World Cup 2026. Also something about black smoke and dirty skies, the environmental cost of generator dependence in Nigeria. And on page 10, Senator Celeste Amarilla, the manipulative pseudo-feminist. Well, it's a lot right there. In case you are interested, it's about Kylian Mbappe. And of course, it's on the rant table. And that involves a Paraguayan senator who went with racist remarks amongst others. Now to Weekend Live on page 13. Our near-death experiences in Ibadan Mayhem. That's coming from survivors. And what started as a mere network failure ended up claiming 2 innocent lives as perpetrators hid under ethnic sentiments to cause mayhem in Ojo, Akinyele local government area of Oyo State. It's a comprehensive report, and I hope that people actually read it up from page 13 to 14. Now to play. Strikers at war in Miami. All eyes on Kane Haaland as England face Norway. Ibrahimovic brands Olise Tom Brady of France. Also more stories on that page 16. Klopp, Mbappe nearly joined Liverpool. Vinicius Jr. begs Brazil fans after World Cup disappointment. Rumpus at Anfield as Michael Edwards leaves Liverpool ownership role. Mbappe clears air on fitness concerns after Morocco heroics. Ndwoke speaks on politics eating Nigerian football. On page 17, we have more Gay Rice face fitness concerns before Norway test. Jesus reunites with Ronaldo as Portugal new coach. Real Madrid to play Fiorentina August 1 in Mourinho return. Now to Saturday politics on page 19. Untamed violence casts shadow over Oshun governorship election. On page 20, competence, not gender, defines leadership. why APC should consider Christian governorship candidates in Kwara. That's interesting. On page 23, why Nigerians don't really retire, the high cost of intergenerational dependency. Do Nigerians retire really?
Even if you retire from a job, you have to find something else.
Oh, okay. There's a whole lot that we need to work on structurally. On people, page 25. Interesting. How Indian hemp farmers facilitate kidnappers' operations in Ondo. That's coming from the NSCDC boss, and he recalls battles with illegal oil bunkering and pipeline vandalism, and says state police will strengthen Nigeria's security architecture. On page 27, again, court reschedules planned judgment in Malami's 57 property forfeiture case. Babayemi on Ocean 2026 says APC will triumph as about aircraft aborted landing before touching down on road, NSIB says. FCCPC floors APs as court affirms authority to probe ticket pricing. Lagos indigenous people petition Sanwo-Olu over renaming of streets. On page 28, Abiodun 6 funding, judicial reforms for state police success. ASU begins indefinite strike at AAUA over unpaid salaries. That's Adekunle Ajasin University. 2026 in Osun, Egbedore residents endorse Adeleke's re-election bid. And George Taylor says he will prioritize youth and women's development in Ogun Central. We also have this one. Lagos local government floats emerging leaders program for youth. Lagos open registration for LCESIC as experts seek greater investment in teacher training. ACF hails northern governors over security trust fund and backs regional fight against insecurity. And NPP unveils new leadership, seeks INEC extension for candidate submission. And we have on page 30, at the local government polls, APC hopeful of 2.5 million turnouts. Abia Police Command, Paris suspected court members, others, community chairman, 2 others arraigned over viral torture video in Emevo. On Sports Extra, on page 31, Super Eagles slip behind Egypt in the latest FIFA rankings. Mane announces retirement from national team. New Milan coach blocks Chukwueze exits. Barcelona agrees 29 million euros deal to sign Adeyemi. There's a tragic story here. A teen crushed to death during France World Cup celebrations. Merino seals semi-final ticket for Spain over Belgium. And a warm welcome for Biker Okedei after riding from London to Nigeria. And of course, we have on the back page the African team's coaching crew. And there's quite a lot of that on the back page of the Nation newspaper for today. Well, that's as much as we can take on the newspaper review segment. Up next now is us going with Adekombi for the week.
Excuse me, ma. It's your 100% million. Babes, aren't you going to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rent, I save for this one separately on money points. Ma, you say you save on money points? Yes. This money points here. The array of your dryer there is target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is this savings money points I used to do it. Many of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
Madam, why the chairman won't contribute to it? Why she say? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Adaku to save. You see money point accounts there. You know go open a savings account. Now Adaku you should. I beg everybody inside this my salon. Oh, you bring out your phone and download the money point hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money point hack now. Adaku, wow, money point account too.
Money point made for your prop.
The Sean Ogunlola Town Hall, Ojagbo, Ogbomoso came alive with music, cultural displays, and enthusiastic party supporters as the Allied People's Movement APM governorship candidate Honorable Bimbo Adekombi paid a familiarization and thank you visit to Ogumosho land. Honorable Adekombi arrived at the venue alongside his running mate, Engineer Muftau Open Salau, the Oyo State APM Chairman Otumba Fagbemi Adegbenru, Chairman of the APM PDP Alliance Chief Dayo Ogungbenru, and other party leaders. The visit also served as the official presentation of the party's governorship and deputy governorship candidates to party stakeholders and supporters in the Ogumosho zone ahead of the 2027 governorship elections. Speaking at the event, the Oyo State chairman of the APM, Otumba Fagbemi Adegbenru, alongside the chairman of the APM PDP Alliance, Chief Dayo Ogungbenru, commended Governor Seyi Makinde for his leadership style and the role he played in the emergence of the alliance. They described the APM as one united family, noting that the visit was also an opportunity to appreciate party members in Ogumosho for their support and commitment during the party's consensus primary process. Addressing party faithful, the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, expressed appreciation to Governor Seyi Makinde for his support towards the restructuring of the party and the successful alliance process. He called on members to remain united and committed, assuring them of an inclusive administration if elected governor of Oyo State. Honorable Adekombi also observed a minute silence in honor of victims of the May 15 attacks in Odile local government area and prayed for the safe release of those still in captivity. In his remarks, the deputy governorship candidate, Engineer Muftau Open Salau, described his nomination as a privilege for the people of Ogumosho and urged party members to work together to secure victory for the party in the 2027 elections. Other speakers at the event included Dr. Saka Balogun, Honorable Bayo Bankole, Honorable Taiwo Alagbe, and the Onitafon of Itafon, Oba Gabriel Adebola, who all stressed the need for unity and sustained grassroots mobilization. On the second day of his appreciation visit to the Ogumosho zone of Oyo State, the governorship candidate of the Allied People's Movement, APM, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, led the leadership of the party to Iresadudu on Tuesday. The event, which was held at the Iresadudu Town Hall, afforded the governorship candidate and his deputy, Engineer Muftau Open Salau, to meet stakeholders and faithful of APM in Surulere and Ogoluwa local government areas. Residents of the two local government areas were enthusiastic to welcome Honorable Adekombi and his entourage to the area as the venue came alive during the visit. Presenting the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, and his running mate, Engineer Open Salau, to the party stakeholders, the APM state chairman, Otumba Fagbemi Adegbenru, and APM PDP Alliance Chairman, Chief Dayo Ogungbenru, said there is no faction in APM because it is one family, calling on all leaders in the two local government areas to settle differences among themselves for the benefit of the party in the area.
Gẹ́gẹ́ bí ti Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ láti fi ta wa lọ́rẹ ni. Àwọn àjọ sí ni o, àjọ tọ̀ sójú kan náà ni tí ó fi ó ní agbára Ọlọ́run. Gbogbo wa pátápátá á jèrè rẹ̀.
Speaking, Honorable Adekombi said his government will be a continuation of the good governance of Governor Seyi Makinde, assuring equal rights among all residents of the state. The APM deputy governorship candidate, Engineer Muftau Opunsalawu, maintained that his nomination was not on political basis, but for the benefit of Ogbomoso and Oyo State in general. Chieftains of the party, Dr. Saka Balogun, Commissioner for Agriculture, Barrister Lasun Olale, Honorable Banji Folaranmi, and Honorable Simeon Oyeleke also gave admonitions at the occasion.
It was a gathering of party leaders, stakeholders, and supporters from Afigio, Atiba, Oyo East, and Oyo West local government areas as the Allied People's Movement (APM) received its governorship candidate, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, following his emergence as the party's flag bearer through a consensus arrangement. In separate goodwill messages, the Commissioner for Special Duties, Dr. Idowu Oyeleke, former Speaker of the Oyo State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Maruf Atilola, Chairman of the Oyo State Fire Service, Honorable Maruf Akinwande, and member of the Governor's Advisory Council, Chief Sunday Ogunlade, expressed confidence in the party's candidates for the forthcoming elections.
ọ̀rọ̀ ni wọ́n ti bá wa sọ nígbà lónìí iṣẹ́ dẹ̀ ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ agbára náà gbogbo àwọn candidate pátápátá la máa dìlífà.
Honorable Adekombi pẹ̀lú ògùn ọlọ́run bá a ṣe péjú nílé ní bẹ́ẹ̀ la ṣe péjú níjọ́ tí wọ́n bá búra fún un náà.
Earlier, the Oyo State Chairman of the APM, Otunba Fagbemi Adegbenro, alongside the APM PDP Alliance Chairman, Chief Dayo Ogungbenro, stressed the importance of unity within the party. Chief Ogungbenro explained that adopting a consensus process rather than conducting party primaries helped preserve cohesion and strengthen the party ahead of the elections. He commended party members in Oyo Federal constituency for their commitment during previous elections and urged them to intensify efforts to ensure victory for all APM candidates.
Going for election every 4 years is a constitutional imperative of any democracy. So all we are going to do in 2027 is pé à ń lọ sí election. Báyìí ẹ ṣe jà wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ní 2019, táyì jà wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ ní 2023, lágbára Ọlọ́run bẹ́ẹ̀ náà láti máa jà wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀. So owó ẹ̀dọ̀wọ́ wa o, ẹ jẹ́ ká tó ìjọba effort wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ bó ṣe yẹ ká ṣe é, kó lè rí bó ṣe máa rí. Ọlọ́run á bá wa ṣe o.
Addressing the gathering, the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, thanked party faithful for their unwavering loyalty and dedication, describing the tour as a demonstration of appreciation and respect for grassroots members. He assured supporters that the confidence reposed in him and other party candidates will not be betrayed if elected, pledging fairness, inclusiveness, and equal opportunities for all party members.
It is government of ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ like the ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ for the ọmọ ẹgbẹ́. So ẹgbẹ́ tá a wà yìí ní ìsìn bí mo ṣe tó síwájú yìí mi ní ẹnì kan tó jẹ́ àyò mi nínú ẹgbẹ́ o. Adékànbí ọmọ yìí tí a bá fẹ́ ní local government yìí Ọ̀yọ́ East, Ọ̀yọ́ West, Àfijọ́ Àtìbà bẹ́ẹ̀ láwọn ọba yìí fẹ́.
The event was attended by the APM Southwest Chairman, Alhaji Musibawo Olaiwola, alongside other party leaders from across the Southwest zone. Meanwhile, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi also met with a cross-section of teachers who presented their concerns and expectations regarding education and workers' welfare. Responding, the governorship candidate pledged to build on the achievements of Governor Seyi Makinde's administration in the education sector and other areas of governance if elected governor of Oyo State. Party faithful from Ibadan Northwest and Ibadan Southwest local government areas converged on a popular event center in Ibadan to receive the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi, as he continues his familiarization and thank you tour across Oyo State Addressing the gathering, Honorable Bimbo Adekombi expressed appreciation to party leaders and members for their confidence in his candidacy and those of other contestants on the APM platform. He pledged to uphold party supremacy, ensure party leaders and faithful remain relevant in governance, and appealed to all stakeholders to work together in harmony, stressing that every member's contribution will be crucial to the party's success.
Our own message to the people is a message of continuity, consolidation, competence, and we are doing that on the platform of a coalition, as you know. Our message is that we are a party that brings unity. So everybody, the best brains, the best ideas, the best values, we want to work together with them, irrespective of party. We are a coalition already, so we welcome more people. But you can say that we are not a party of disunity. Where you don't give respect to other people's voices and opinions and values.
The Oyo State Chairman of the APM, Otunba Adegbenro Fagbemi, in his address urged members to remain united, saying everyone has a vital role to play in the growth and electoral success of the party. He warned against actions capable of causing disunity among stakeholders. Also speaking, Chairman of the Oyo APM PDP Alliance, Honorable Dayo Ogunbenro, called for reconciliation among aggrieved members, noting that resolving internal differences will strengthen the party's chances in the 2027 elections. The two leaders publicly presented and raised the hands of Honorable Bimbo Adekombi and Engineer Muftau Opunsalau as the party's governorship candidate and running mate. In separate goodwill messages, party leaders including Chief Nureni Akombi, Dr. Remi Ayodele and Magaji Tajuddin Abbas Aleshinloye pledged their commitment to mobilizing support for the victory of APM candidates in future elections. They also urged the candidates to remain faithful to the interests and welfare of party members if elected into office. Other contestants, including Dr. Akinfagbemi, who is the party candidate for Ibadan Northwest Southwest Federal Constituency, and Honorable Dikrulai Olajide, who is contesting the Oyo South senatorial seat, assured members of their readiness to serve both the party and the people if given the mandate, while seeking the continued support and cooperation of party faithful. The familiarization and thank you tour by the Oyo State APM governorship candidate Honorable Bimbo Adekombi and his entourage to grassroots party faithful across the state continues next week.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the interview segment this morning. The conversation we are having this morning is a very interesting one. I'm sure that you actually want to join us in that conversation. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy every bit of what we're going to be talking about this morning. Now, they say clothes do not make the person, and yet throughout history, what people wear has actually reflected culture, identity, status, beliefs, and even, if you call it rebellion, yes. Today, however, conversations around dress sense have become a lot more intense than ever due to, intergenerational differences amongst other things. And social media, we know, has redefined fashion trends. Global influences are reshaping local styles. And as some are seeing today's fashion as confidence, creativity, and a self-expression, something otherwise. And others are worrying that society is gradually losing its sense of modesty, dignity, and cultural identity. And this morning, we are going to be asking a lot of questions. Amongst those questions, we are asking, are changing dress patterns simply a reflection of evolving times? Are they signs of changing social values? And where should society draw the line between personal freedom and public morality? And that's why we have the conversation today about emerging dress sense and social morality. That's the conversation for this morning. And to actually do justice to what we have, I have a very fine man, Comrade Lekan Adebayo, who is a public affairs analyst as well as a social commentator. You're welcome this morning.
Good morning,
sir. Good morning. It's my pleasure to be here.
We also have right here a very beautifully dressed and beautiful woman. I'm talking about Mrs. Omobola Thompson, a gender advocate.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Well, now, here we are. And I think we will do well to speak about what we have noticed as trends in recent days and our first thoughts about them. I think our first, they say first impressions last a whole lot longer. So what are those first thoughts that we have seen about the trends and what we have seen over time and what we have thought of that? Daddy, permit me to be a gentleman. Ladies, let's have the floor.
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm happy to be here this morning to discuss this very important topic. Like you rightly said, there is an adage in Yoruba language that says, the way you see people is the way you perceive them to be. But most of the time we may be wrong, because I may dress very good, neatly, and my inward may be speaking other things. But what I see today generally is that both the young people and the old people are either they are protesting or they are trying to express something that the society is not getting through their dressing. Because I believe dress speaks a lot. What I put on says a lot about what I'm going through. It says a lot about what is inside of me. So I personally believe that people don't dress from outside, they dress from within. So most of the time, our dresses express what we are going through, what we are feeling. For example, you see me in maybe in a winter jacket going on the streets. You will definitely know that the weather is saying something differently. You cannot see me putting on winter jackets during hot season in Nigeria. So definitely something, I'm trying to express something by the way I dress. So we should look beyond, this person is wearing white, this person is wearing green. We should look deeper. What informed that dressing?
Okay, comrade, does the dressing really define the personality?
Definitely yes. Yes, because your appearance is your first introduction to the world. Before people hear you speak or people know your character, your appearance says so much. Your appearance has already passed the message. So the first glance has already sent a message to the people. That is why it is very important to dress modestly, because we are talking about you might dress well and your character might be ugly. But before people know your character. Your appearance has first introduced you to the world. And people have already had a kind of perception now seeing you. So it is very important to dress modestly. A situation where these days among our youths put on clothing that reveal their private parts excessively is threatening the moral values of our society, and it is a growing concern, especially for we adults.
Okay, comrades and mommy. Now I have something I wanted to share, with someone over time. I noticed a trend. There was a time that people wore James Brown boot cuts and all of that, and those shoes, and then the trend stopped. But then there was another time when I think when I was much younger, I started seeing people a lot more in boot cuts, in those kind of jean cuts and those shoes again, although in a redefined way. Are we saying that there's a way that somehow, some way, those trends come back and then we find it hard to adjust to them? Because, I mean, back then also we had a lot of people wearing a lot of jeans and cap and all of that, and then we are seeing more of that again.
Thank you so much. For me, I believe there is nothing new under the heaven. We are just recycling what they have done in the past. And I want us to look at it this way. The fashion world itself, they want to make money. They are out there for business. So they have to keep, inventing and reinventing, fashion in a way that we speak, to the time that we are in. They are out there to make money. For comrade, I'm sure if you look in your wardrobe, this particular dress you are wearing, if you look very well in your wardrobe, about 30 years or 40 years ago, you have something similar to this in your wardrobe. And if he's putting that particular dress on now, it may be difficult for people to differentiate. At least if he has maintained it very well and he's putting it on now, people may be looking at him, oh, you just made this, which shows that fashion is reinventing. They are reinventing it. They are recycling it. And, my own conclusion about it is that the fashion world is making money. They want to make money, and they will use, they will work on our intelligence to make it. They look at a group of the society, and they look at them, what fits this group? Let's put just a little change in the way it used to be to make it appealing to them. And then they are going to buy it. And it's working. It's really, really working. And, who are they using? They are using us to market it. Some of them will do fashion show where they will give some of these items out for free. And by the time they see celebrities putting them on, they see big guys like Comrade putting them on, people of their age will begin to buy, patronize them. So I believe strongly that, we are recycling, we are reinventing what has been in the time past. And it's working for the fashion world.
Comrade, would you say that, like, when you were speaking, actually, you made mention of the way you are perceived, the way you are dressed is how you are perceived. Or most times, it's not some people now, they have like uniforms, like maybe workplace, or they're just supposed to be in a particular costume. But that's not necessarily who they are. But then they wear these costumes. So is it not going to be judgmental for us to say, oh, because you are wearing this, you are this?
The Yoruba people are the wisest people in the world. Yoruba too, like Dr. Thompson said, Yoruba has expressly stated that the way you dress is the way you will be addressed. So, to your question, when people are trying to be judgmental, they may be right, they may be wrong. But the fact still remains that if you are a very good person, a very nice person, a very nice man or nice woman, and you put on some dress that are very scary, that people had already had negative impression. Seeing you. Like I said earlier, your appearance matters a lot. That is why Yoruba will say, "Bá a ṣe rìn, là á kó ni." I have had a lot of experiences where my appearance or the clothes I put on had helped me in the past. I was going to a party about 2 months ago, and it was a party that we have been given card. This card that if you don't hold the card, they will not allow you
Access card.
the hair. So I left that card. I forgot it at Ibadan, and I was going to the party at Osogbo. Getting to Baga area, people were calling me. We are expecting you. Military men are at the gate. Too. If you don't bring your card, they will not allow you entry. So I was confident that seeing me, there was no way they won't allow me entrance. When I got there, I saw those military men. Really, they were checking people. They were denying some people from entering the venue of the party. But when they saw me, they look at me like this, and they say, "Go inside, sir." So what we are saying is that if you dress modestly, in accordance with our culture, our tradition, that your appearance had already sent a message. And if the message sent to the public is negative, you will be publicly affected. You'll be public. Let's now leave whether they are wrong or they are right. If when you dress decently, you had sent a message to the people, and if the message is negative, it will not be in your interest. That is why it is very, very, very advisable to dress modestly and corporately to anywhere we are going.
Okay, now this conversation, I think.
I want to add something,
Right,
because there's a question she asked about wearing uniform.
Okay.
She asked a question about wearing uniform. And I want to say that, we are in different parts. I'm seated here now. I have different parts of me. Okay? So when I wear uniform, for that moment, I am part of that group. For example, if you have uniform at BCOS, and when I entered the gate this morning, they gave me BCOS uniform. For the period while I'm wearing the uniform, I am representing BCOS with my uniform. So I am part of that group, but I am not a staff of BCOS. But I choose to represent BCOS because I'm wearing that uniform. So I may be a petrol attendant, a fuel attendant at the petrol station, wearing the uniform. For a purpose, maybe I just want to achieve a purpose there. I may be bigger and larger than that role, but for as long as I'm wearing that uniform, I am part of that group. So it's the same way people use dress like a sheet. We use whatever we put on per time as a sheet. You see people when they leave Nigeria, you see me dressing like this. If I go to Europe, I will not dress like this. You will see me in jeans and t-shirts, probably my face cap and my jacket, and be running after bus. But here, I'll be waiting for a car to carry me. At that time, when I'm in that place, I comply. My dressing does not mean that I'm a, house girl there. But I choose to be in that uniform because for that moment, I need to comply with whatever that is happening in that place. So uniform at times, you may use it as a sheet or as a means of identity to belong to a group of people, but it's not a permanent thing that you will use to define me.
All right, Mrs. Omobola. So that's saying how you are dressed is how you'll be perceived or you'll be addressed. Do you feel like that saying should be maybe a little less, not so rigid? Because what you just said now, you have there are different parts of you, in a particular sector, you in a particular setting, and you in a different setting. And imagine someone seeing you in that other setting, and then they're just judging you based off of how you look at that particular point. Like you said, dressing is like an expression of how you are feeling, what it is you are doing at the particular time
The
you're wearing
climate
it.
you belong and everything.
Exactly. So that's saying how you are dressed is how you are perceived, is how you are dressed.
Yeah.
Is it now?
It's true. I still stand on it.
And that is true.
Because I belong to that particular group or climate at that time. They are going to address me.
Okay, maybe we should look at it from
You
different
understand?
Maybe
Like that.
Maybe
But that is not my totality.
Mm.
That is not the total.
So
me.
when people are now judging you based off of that one time that they saw you in that particular outfit, is it proper?
It's not proper.
Exactly.
But that is the way they address me. And that is the fact.
Okay, I think we should look at it from a different point of view. Maybe for the uniform thing now, maybe we should look at factors that might differentiate you, because we're talking about dress sense, not just the dressing. We're talking about dress sense. So maybe we should talk about probabilities of some other things helping you stand out, as a manner of identification. But before we talk about that, we have this commercial to take, and then when we come back, we'll talk about those factors that might separate you from the others.
Excuse me, ma. This your 100% human hair. Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rent, I save for this one separately on money points. Ma, you say you save on money points? Yes. This madam money points here, the array of hair dryer there is target savings money points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub is this savings money points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff is save as you transact.
Jennifer, money point save as you transact. Money point fixed savings and money point target savings.
What happened? Why did John don't contribute to it? Why should they? Come on, oh, you go give your money to Hadaku to save. You see money point accounts there. You don't go open a savings account. Now Hadaku you shoot. I beg everybody inside this my salon. Oh, you bring out your phone and download the money point hack now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money point hack now. Hadaku, wow, open money point account.
Money point made for your problem.
Much for joining us right here, and of course we're still right here talking about the conversation, but we have to mention this right about now. His Excellency the Executive Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, FNSC DSC GSSRS, attends 12 hours Jehoshaphat praise at the Orita Mefa Baptist Church, Total Garden, Ibadan, and started already this morning. On his entourage, we have the HOS, the SEA, and the honorable commissioners as well. We have the SA, the EA, the DGs, the chairman of the Pilgrims Welfare Board, the Christian Wing. We also have the chairman Youth Agency, the chaplain of the Government House Chapel, the SE on Interfaith, the chairman Ibadan North Local Government, and the chairman Ibadan Southeast Local Government. And all members of the entourage received the Excellency at the venue. And that's coming from Otumba Gboyega Badejo, FICA, Director General Protocol to the Governor. It's presently holding right there at the Orita Mefa Baptist Church at Total Garden, Ibadan. All right, now back to our conversation on emerging dress sense and social morality. We still have Comrade Lekan Adebayo with us, as well as Mrs. Omobola Thompson. I was talking about factors that might separate, that might give us a different perception. Because when we were in school, all of us wore the same school uniform. But you could maybe differentiate us by maybe the sandal, or how we wore the sandal, the socks, how the uniforms were ironed. Almost everybody has to iron, but how did you iron yours? What did you do about yours? How did you place your belts? And several other things. Maybe you could give us something.
Well, my take on that is that your dress is you. Before we went on break, we were on, discussing on people putting on uniform. How do we identify police officers? How do we identify a nurse? And the example you are just giving now, our students wearing sandal, and when we were in school, at that level that you are trying to portray, they will say a student is very neat, isn't it? They are judging him or her based on what they see in school, the way he appears in school, whether or not. Nobody sees that. So, as the point still remains that your dress is you. People will judge you based on what they see you, based on your appearance. And that is why when we were in secondary school, like you have rightly said, when they are to choose prefects, they first consider how neat you are. I remember my secondary school days that time. Our head prefect then was always neatly dressed. Neatly dressed, and it is very pertinent that we dress well so that we will get a deserved attention and respect anywhere we go.
You want to add to that?
Yes, I want to add to it. Thank you for mentioning that head prefect thing. I was the head prefect in my school, and I was head and social prefect, combining the two together. It was difficult for them to pick another person to hold the second position because of what he said now. When I'm going to school, I have 2 handkerchiefs in my bag, one for my face and one for my leg. So if I mistakenly step on dust, I check it like every 5 or 10 minutes to make sure I clean it. People are watching you.
Yeah.
Just to buttress what he just said. People are watching you. It is true we are in the same uniform, but we are not the same. The way you just talk about the dress sense now, the way you portray yourself, the way you present yourself to the world is the way they will address you.
Okay.
So it's possible for you to be wearing uniform, but some people are picked out of the group because of the way they present themselves. So I still believe that there is no way your dressing will still showcase your identity. Who is this person? Is this person a dirty person? We are wearing the same uniform. But you see someone that is always ironing it. We must iron our uniform every day. When we get home, we iron uniform. Because nobody is begging us to do it. But we want to appear good. You remember in those days of cold iron, because my father will not allow you to use electricity. They believe electricity is going, iron will burn everything. So we have to use the cold one. And we make sure we iron our uniform every day. We wash. We have to we wash it. When you use it today, we wash it. And we iron it, getting ready for it. So it's the way you put on that uniform that will make you to stand out.
Which takes us to the imagined dress sense now, the conversation itself now.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I have a round neck shirt. Somebody else has a round neck shirt. But we are not wearing the same. And there are some individuals who can barely afford to buy 3 shirts. But they can buy one, and then they choose to buy one that is probably oversized because he wants to feel a monk, and so he uses it for casual. He goes to church in it, amongst other things. Dress sense. And there are some people who have just one as well, but they know what to buy when they go to the market. They also know how to wear it and how to keep it. So we're talking about the emerging dress sense now. How do we juxtapose it with social morality? Because we've seen a lot of individuals across town. Over the days, we keep seeing them, we keep asking the question, why is he dressed like this? Why is he rocking jeans like this? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing that? And then we have to ask questions about the social morality, because others are also looking at him and they are feeling like, yes, he's a big boy. He's nonchalant. Is that, is this? So how do we juxtapose the two and ensure that we get it?
Okay, let me start. When we talk about social morality, and I think this is a message that we all need to keep passing across. Why am I dressing the way I am dressing? What value do I place on myself? What value is the society I belong to portraying or expecting from me? What respect do I have for myself, for my society, for the culture where I belong? Do I even have, dignity in myself? Do I believe in myself beyond what every other person is doing? When Comrade was talking about overexposing your private parts. it's not limit. I'm not going to blame the Gen Z. I'm not blaming young people. Even the elderly people are doing it. You see people, women of my age, making dress and exposing everything, making men uncomfortable when they are seated. What kind of moral value, respect are we, passing across to people that are looking at us? So it's beyond what I feel people are doing. It goes deeper, for me to be the image maker of myself. I'm representing myself now, representing my culture, society that I belong. What is acceptable, what we portray me as a normal, sane person, the way I'm dressing. Because you see some people, like he was saying about having a round neck shirt. When I want to buy clothes, what comes to my mind? Is it durability? Is it how fit the dress I'm putting on is on me? Is it acceptable in the place, in the culture, the society that I belong? All those should be in our mind when we are buying, starting from buying to the time of wearing them, without seeing anybody judging us. And you must respect the culture where you belong. You cannot say, oh, I am in Nigeria. And that is why we are having issues. I'm in Nigeria, you want to be wearing, what do they call that, crop bun or something. You wear a pant that is almost showing everything, showing your tummy. Is that how we dress in this place? So when you are in Rome, you behave like Romans. When you are in Oyo State, Ibadan, precisely, you behave like people in Ibadan. If you see someone that is dressing, I call it normally. When I mean normally, that is...
The new norm.
No, not really new norm. When an Ibadan person or your person, when they would address you as dressing normal, maybe someone that is dressing like you or like Omri, not someone that is opening the chest and, wearing torn shirts and everything and believing that is fashion. So where you belong also matter. Don't say, no, I will dress the way I like. No, you don't dress the way you like alone. You dress in a way that will make you acceptable, that will make people to give you your regards, that will make people to give you honor. Like the example that Comrade gave, supposing he appeared at that place in all those torn jeans and everything and he just enter, do you think those people will allow him to enter? They will send him back. So the culture, the value, the respect, the words that we place on ourselves should come to our mind right from the time of purchase to the way we assemble them together when we are going out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's look at this now. You made mention of our culture and our society. So do you feel like the society has, has been more tolerant and, less judgmental about the way we dress? Maybe that is why we're having a lot of youths like dressing indecently, if we put it that way.
Well, I want to say that the effect of the internet is also affecting us in certain ways because some people just want to belong. They just see something. Most of the things that these people put on going around town, they are costumes to some people. They are just costume for a particular occasion. But we see it online and we say, oh, I want to also dress this way to show that I belong, to show that I know what is going on out there. And most of the time they are costume that people wear for events, concerts, and all those things. And after that, they put it down. I want to, for advert that is not paid for. Look at our popular Davido in Nigeria. When you see him on stage, see the Davido you see on stage and the Davido that attend family reunion, family party and all those things. It's not the same person. It's not the same appearance you are going to see. But you see that thing that he put on the stage, that is what you will see some people investing all their life savings to purchase. And that's what they want to wear to their social occasion, to their special occasion. So I don't want to say that the society are too judgmental. We are not too judgmental. It's because, there is a norm, there is a way we expect people from this part of the world to dress. And if we don't see you dressing that way, as parents, we need to call you to order. Where are you going, sister? When you are putting this, all the tummy is showing and everything. I used to do that. You know, there are dresses that must be within the house. You cannot wear it beyond your gate. You can wear it because maybe the weather is not friendly and you want to wear something just to, you know, but you can't wear it beyond your gates. But we see in the situation that people just feel, I can wear anything, I can go anywhere, I can do anything I like. Nobody is going to ask me. And if they ask them, they take offense. So for me, it's not being too judgmental, but also when we are correcting people, we should do it in love. We should let them see. We work in a state and there's a particular, in the same town, there's a particular area. If you want to go there as a woman, you have to wear a hijab. You can't go to the area. It's just a street that separated them. This place is Christian, the other side is Muslim. If you are going to the other side, you have to wear your hijab. And you cannot say, I will not wear my hijab. If I don't wear my hijab, let them do whatever they like. We have to buy hijab and wear it to the place if we want them to listen to us. See, you can't force yourself down people's throats. You can't say, I want to dress the way I like, they must listen to me. They won't listen to you. There are other people. So we have to put on that hijab to make them listen to us. And when we put it on, they accepted us. But that does not mean I am wearing hijab all the time. So those are some of the areas that we also need to consider.
Comrade, now she mentioned something while she was speaking, and it's the influence of the celebrities. And I think we need to speak about that. How do people start to identify that, like she mentioned, the celebrity is using it for a purpose, not for what he's doing every time? I mean, I've seen a lot of boys. She made an example the other time, and I wanted to say, Ma, I have seen a number of boys wear winter jackets in the hot season.
Yes.
Because they want to look hot in coats.
Something's
And
in coats.
yes, and you know, I think we need to start, you know, addressing that so that people would understand that, like she said, this person is wearing it maybe to just go on the runway, maybe to just perform. There was a day we planned an event, myself and some other people, and I saw an artist. He wore some things, and we were like, are we sure this guy is going to perform well? Why? Because of the dressing. And we felt, you're not comfortable in this dressing. How do you want to be comfortable performing? But it was like, no, wala, he's going to go ahead. It was like we judged him too quickly. But then the dressing and everything was something that made us, you know, have that doubt. So how do we address that so that people understand that these celebrities you are seeing, there is a purpose to why they have worn this clothing at this time?
Well, everybody has a purpose for putting what he or she is putting on. There is a purpose for any dress you put on. And we are different things in different places. Even myself, I have put on what's it called, eku that the masquerade used to put on. I've done it before. And why was because then I was in the College of Education and I was given an assignment to write on to write on something traditional, something cultural. And I wrote on Igogo. When I presented my paper to my lecturer, he said, no, it's not a paper thing. He wanted to see me as a masquerade. I went to go and buy that eku. I don't know what's it called now.
You bought it or you rented?
the masquerade costume. So, and I put it on. I was dancing around the town.
Oh, goodness.
People were calling me Egungun. People that were following me, they were drinking soft drinks. When we get to a market square, they will give them soft drinks, they will drink. I mean that I was in the costume. They didn't give me anything. I threatened them that I would remove this thing. They were begging me. So the point I'm trying to make is that when we put on anything, it is for a purpose. It is for a purpose. You might want to go on another outing. You won't put on things like this. So it is everybody has a purpose why he puts on what he's putting on. And coming to this celebrity issue, even long in the past, we watch a celebrity or a musician as our mentor when it comes to dressing or dresses. When I was a university undergraduate, when it comes to dress sense, my mentor then was Alhaji Kolintanyila. He used to put on one process like this. I've forgotten the name that we call it. The belt will be here. So it is very advisable that those who are celebrities and who are also mentors to younger ones should also dress corporately so that they will bear in mind the young ones that see them as their mentors when it comes to dressing. There's nothing we can do about it. It has been argued against and for. Some people argue that dressing is our right. You can choose to dress the way you like. As a matter of fact, if you don't dress to suit yourself, you will not be happy.
Very true.
You will not be happy. Sometimes when I was planning to come here today, from last night, I decided on which clothes to put on. If for any reason, I am denied my preference, I may not be happy. So it is very important to know that anybody that, whether he dresses well or he doesn't dress well, he has a purpose for it. But one thing is very important. While making our preference, we must bear in mind that, like Doctor has said, that we are representing ourselves, and we must be very cognizant of the fact that which image are we protecting? What are we representing? What respect are we trying to command? All those things are very important while we are making our preference for.
I want to thank you for choosing this dress because it's inspiring me myself. But then maybe you want to add to it, Ma. I would also like to add, while you're adding to what you said, the part of freedom of expression with dressing.
Yes. He says something that I also like, because, when most of the young guys that we look at, and we say, oh, this one is dressing shabbily or something, they are actually happy. They are happy with what they are putting on. So, and they are sincerely expressing something. Many of them, if you see them alone, they actually behave like their model. It's probably they are dressing like their model. In their mind, I want to become so and person. So when they are buying, when they go to market to purchase something, they are buying, they are looking at that person. This is what this person put on yesterday. I want to also get it. So they are expressing themselves. But what I want to say to them is that they can actually be better than that person. If that person is not a good representation of what the society expects, they can be better. They can carve their own image that will make other people also to follow them and want to be like them. They don't have to be a bad model to the people coming behind them. Nobody is disputing them, expressing themselves, being happy with who they are, but is that the real them? If narratives are to be changed, are they still going to be dressing that way? So those are the things they should consider before saying, oh, I just want to be myself. I want to express myself. Most of the things that we are telling these young people now, it may not make sense to them until they get into the business world. When they get to business world, then they begin to change the way they see dressing. And I've stylishly followed my children, and I see some of the comments they made. There is something my daughter said that made me very, very happy, on one of our social space. She said, my mommy used to say, you must look good every Sunday. Whether you are expecting visitor or not, you must dress well because people visit on Sunday. Now, I've made it my own, watchword to always look good on Sundays. I was watching her space and I started laughing. Then it may not make sense to them. Why do I have to dress up after church? Why do I need to look good when I'm not expecting anybody? But now it's making sense. Most of the things that we see the young people doing that may be, modified, or done in a better way, we should say it in love. We should let them see reasons why we are saying
In
it.
love.
Yes, in love. They can carve their own image. They can be themselves and not model wrong celebrities.
Still talking about that self-expression, you made mention of people like evolving as they grow. Like when you enter the business space, your mode of dressing changes. Since it's how you feel in the moment, how about we just let people exactly like express themselves? And also, where do we draw the line at you're expressing yourself and then it's indecent? How do we also determine what is indecent in a society? Because we've expressed that self-expression, fashion is evolving. We are being influenced by maybe celebrities or like other cultures, and people are just putting it together to make themselves feel better. So how do we know these things?
Okay, let me still use BCOS for example. You are coming on here this morning. There is a culture in this place. It may not be written anywhere. It's not written anywhere. Is it written somewhere that you must dress this way this morning? Or you? It's not written anywhere. But there is this culture everywhere you enter that tells you this is how they dress here. So without sounding judgmental, without, condemning anybody, when you enter a place, there is a culture in the place. So you need to calm down, study the culture of the place. You can still express yourself in that culture. Like I'm in Yoruba land. I'm not in Iro and Buba this morning. I am not Angele. I am expressing myself. But if I leave this place now and I'm going to church, I carry my gele, I will tie it. I'm still expressing myself. If after church, I'm going to a party, I remove this gele, I turn another style, I'm still expressing myself. Same dress, same me, expressing myself. Nobody is forcing me to do it. So the culture of where we belong, our own personal, conviction of how we want them to see us, to respect us, to place us, also plays a role in the way we appear. As human beings, we are not living for ourselves alone. We are living for ourselves and we are living for others. We want to be good influence. We want to be positive influence to people around us. We don't want to be bad influence. So that is why we cannot say 100% I want to express myself. Yeah. We are also influencer in our own little way. People are watching you. People are watching me. I know people that dress the way I dress. The way I'm dressing today. By tomorrow, I will see people that will dress like this. Just because they watch me every day. And many of them have told me, in fact, some people will tell people that, why are you looking like her like this? Because they've been watching me for a long time. So forget about expressing yourself. Nobody is saying don't express yourself. But do you want to be a good influence to other people that are coming behind you? That's another fact.
So let's just say it is dress for the occasion.
Yes.
Okay. Also, you made mention of women at parties, older women at parties, and they dress a certain way. While they are expressing themselves, I'm sure they are also trying to express themselves. But one thing that caught my attention was, making the opposite gender uncomfortable. Is there like a double standard to indecency now? Are we looking at the females and you cannot do this, you cannot do that, you cannot do that, and men, their own indecent dressing tends to be limited.
I'm a gender advocate.
Exactly.
So I don't speak for women alone. I speak for men.
Okay, but then looking at what you just said, the making the opposite gender uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it's about making the opposite gender uncomfortable. Women, there are things men do that make us uncomfortable.
Okay.
So many things. But because men most of the time are moved by what they see. That's why what women do, especially expressing themselves, may make some of them uncomfortable and they say it out. But women won't say it out. What we do most of the time is to walk away or ignore that sin. A man is opening his chest. A man is packing in the wrong way. a man is, there are things that men do that make women uncomfortable. But you won't see women talk about it because it irritates women. That's the difference I see. It irritates women, but most of the time, some of those attracts men to women in a wrong way. And that is why whatever we are doing, we should think about decency. As a man or a woman, think of, is this decent? Is it good enough for me to wear? I will not wear anything that will make me uncomfortable. You will see some people dressing and they are uncomfortable. They can't sit well. They are sitting like this. Or they can't even get out of the car. Somebody will need to carry them. Why must I kill myself just because I want to appear somehow? So it's not about one gender, it's both gender.
But if the woman is willing to walk away, so why won't the man just face his front? It's almost like we are saying maybe like shrink yourself. You mentioned corset, although it's uncomfortable, but many ladies love it.
Oh yes.
Many ladies love it.
It's
so
good.
when I'm wearing that corset now, I am feeling happy. But because of what another person is going to feel beside me, I would now like change my approach.
Don't change. Wear it as long as you are okay. But it's not good for me.
As long
That's
as
what I'm
you are
saying.
okay,
As long as you are okay. But for
comply.
me, even if you force it on me, I'm going to remove it. But for another person, I will even admire you. You understand? I will admire you as long as it makes you fine. You are beautiful, you are okay, you are presentable, you are happy, you blush. When they say, oh, this is good, you are fine. But for me, as a person, I'm not comfortable in it, so I'm not going to put it on. So that's the balance I'm trying to strike. For the fact that you are fine with it, is good, it makes you good, please go ahead with it. All right?
In regard, not minding the opposite gender and what's
it's your body, you are the one putting it on.
Exactly.
Okay. And I'm not the one that will carry you out of the car if you cannot get
out. All right. Now, well, to repeat the message that we sent out earlier on, His Excellency, the Executive Governor for your state, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is attending the 12-hour Jehoshaphat praise today. And of course, it's at the Orita Mefa Baptist Church at Toto Garden, Ibadan. And members of his entourage, the HOS, the SEA, as GD, and of course the Honorable Commissioners of Education, Justice, Energy, Finance, Information, Lands, Health, Environment. We also have the SA on Homelands, EA, Admin, DG, Disability, the DG Giving Board, the Chairman of the Pilgrims Welfare Board, the Christian Wing, the Chairman of the Youth Agency, the chaplain of the Government House Chapel, the SA Interfaith. We also have the Chairman, Ibadan North Local Government, and the Chairman, Ibadan Southeast Local Government. And all members of the entourage are to actually receive His Excellency at the venue. This is coming from Otumba Boyega Badejo, FICA, the DG protocol to the governor. Now back to our conversation. Daddy, she mentioned something not too long ago. She's putting on something. She's trying to represent and identify with the society that she is in. But then she's doing it in a different way, a way that others are admiring and want to actually copy. What's the limits of creativity? Because I've seen some different trends now that are exciting to me. The trends of having adire or ashoke in, maybe baggy trousers or, a kind of kimono, different ways like that, even to jackets, even to, suit jackets. And I love it. But then that's creativity. People didn't think of that before. How do we add that to, our dress sense to make something happen for us?
As we have stated earlier on, when you decide to put on any dress, it is for a purpose. And when you see anybody dressed the way he dresses, you first ask yourself, why must he appear this way? What impression is he trying to create? If in your own perception, in your own sense of judgment, the person is right, we will say the person dresses well. You have been saying you like my dress, but there are some occasions that I will dress like this, and people will say, what for?
Mm-hmm.
what for. For instance, if I am a teacher and I'm going to teach my students in the classroom and I dress like this, people will not say I dress well. I think you are getting my point.
Maybe on a Friday.
Even on a Friday, instead for my students to listen to me, their attention will be on my dress. So it is very important that all those factors are put into consideration before you make your preference for the clothes that you wear to appear in any place. You said in your question now that you've seen people who in Nigeria and I see a lot of things like that too. When we were growing, then it was not common. I don't want to say it was a taboo, but let me say it was not common to see people put on canvas and they wear native dress like this. But you see all those kind of things, even adults wearing them. And I begin to ask myself, I begin to shake my head that can I dress like this? Like I appear like I'm here now, put on canvas on this my dress.
No, it will not go with this one.
Yeah. But you see people doing such, even adults. You see them doing such. This is good, but there are some hairstyle. We all admire dark hair, but young women who have dark hair will still go and tint it to white. Some will say to gold, and I ask, they dye to black. Why you have black hair as a young woman, you still dye to white?
Maybe to change the look.
That is it. Whether correctly or whether rightly or wrongly, fashion is about changing look. Even what you are changing might be better than where you are switching to. But one thing I realized about fashion these days is that you just want to appear different.
Okay.
Whether the appearance you are putting on today is better than the one that you put on yesterday. People just want to appear different. But the only but I want to add is that when making our preference for our appearance, it should be taken into cognizance the societal expectation, societal norms. Am I in tune with our tradition, with our culture?
You know, what you just asked now is one thing I wanted to ask the other time, because while we want to be creative, are we ready for the reaction of people out there? I mean, there was a time when you wouldn't find a lot of ladies with leg chains, especially on the side. I don't know which leg it is, but then someone was going out one day and then had a leg chain on a certain leg, and then she was telling me that particular thing that she was doing, she had worn it the previous week, and she had gotten a lot of whistles and jeers from men while she was walking by, even bike men and all that. And I said, you are wearing it again today. You did not like the reaction. Are you sure that you can handle the reaction today? Because you want to wear it, but they do not understand why you're wearing it. They think it's something else. So are you ready to, I think, are we considering that when you're talking about creativity, changing looks and all that in our dresses?
Thank you. I think it should be a strong consideration. You know, like I said the other time, that you are not only dressing for yourself, you are dressing for people, onlookers. They are looking at you. You are expressing yourself, fine. Go ahead, express yourself. But your dressing may be sending wrong signals to the people of the society. So you need to consider that also when you are going out. What is the purpose of dressing? The first purpose is to cover our nakedness. Is it covering my nakedness? What is the purpose of accessories that we put? Chain, earring, every other thing that people put. Some people put nose rings, put everything. What purpose are those things going to serve? How will the society take it? Should be part of our considerations. But if you see some people, they don't care. They don't care what people think about them as long as they are expressing themselves. But I think, for me personally, I don't think that is good enough. Because whether dead or alive, we are not living for ourselves. We are living for God. We are living for people. And people are the one you are interacting and interfacing with on a daily basis. There are some dressing that will not take you beyond your house. Keep dressing like that. Let people correct you. Don't listen. Just continue. It won't take you beyond your locality if you don't change. So let's forget about pampering people to continue and dressing anyhow. There are some dressing, if you continue like that, it won't take you beyond your courtyard.
Okay.
You talk about, you got to talk about Adire and Ashoke the other time.
Yeah.
I think it's a culture that we should all embrace and celebrate. You know, in the olden days, we only know about making Iru and Buba, making Bubu with Adire. But now they can make all sorts. And if you look on the Instagram, you see that they are even more expensive than the, you know. And I think they started a few years back when exchange rates just jump up, skyrocket, and buying those dresses that we used to buy. You know, people don't like buying China then. They don't like buying all these UK. You know, if it's not UK, if it's not this, they are not buying. But at that time, people were forced to be buying China, and they noticed that most of the time China and Indonesia clothes are substandard. So people started making Nigerian Adire, Ankara, Ashoke mixed with Adire and everything. And I'm telling you, just like Comrade said, the Yoruba are the best in the whole world. I want to say Ashoke, Adire, Ankara is the best anywhere you go. So let's market what we produce here
Nigerian
to the
made
world.
products.
Yes, Nigeria to the world.
Comrade, let's talk about parenting quickly. Parenting and how we handle the adjustments. Because it's not easy for parents to catch up with the emerging trends, globally especially. You don't know what your child is always watching on TikTok or all those social media platforms. But how do parents handle those things, those moments where they have seen their children, you know, with some kind of, you know, clothing? And also, how are the parents expected to actually address it?
It is very important that parents should be alive to what their children put on, because nobody can dispute the fact that parents are the first teachers of the children. Children learn a lot from what they see at home. And like you have rightly said, you know, our hairstyle is part of our dressing.
Yes.
I have a son who used to blow his ear. One day I called him. I said, see my own head. Clean shaved. Don't you like this? He said, Daddy, why I used to blow my hair that my head is small. So when I blow my hair, it will give me some level of confidence. So it is very important that we understand why people behave the way they behave as it regards dressing. But it is now the duty of parents as adults who are experienced and who have seen it all to now correct our children to dress in compliance with societal expectation. We should let our children see why they should dress this way or that way. The emerging dress sense is so complicated these days that even we parents like for instance, if I don't wear some clothes again in my house and I give to my children, they don't wear it. They will either complain that the trousers is too big or something like that. If I give them shoes to some of them who are using the same size, they will just look at as fine as my shoe is to me. They just look at it like this.
Style is different.
So I don't know, and they will. So when they put on shoe, the shoe will be as big as 9 inches block. I don't know, but we as parents, we should keep on correcting them, telling them the implication of the dress they are putting on.
But we've been able to establish that most times children don't listen to, although we sing it, listen to your parents, but they don't listen. So do you feel like we should have maybe like a government regulatory board that would like arrest you on the road if you are not dressed properly to, you know, curb this indecent dressing?
Well, as I am a lecturer, and as a lecturer, I try my best by making sure I correct my students who do not dress well in class. Sometimes, if it is so irritating, I send some out of the class. Not outrightly, but to tell him, go and dress well and come back. So, as guidance to the younger ones, we must not relent doing all those, correcting them in the way they dress.
Okay, mommy, you're going to add to what we were talking about.
Okay, that your question is too harsh.
What should we do to, you know, lessen
because
this
otherwise
noisy?
they are going to revolt, you know, and it's not going to be good. So just like he said, I think it starts from home. It starts from upbringing. It starts from parents showing good examples to their children. Also, right from youth, let them see the importance of looking good, looking well, you know, to match the life they are expecting, the life they want, who they want to become. So if we start from home, guiding them in love, telling them the right thing to do, I think it will be better than make it forceful, because I've seen it in a school where they were forcing girls to go back, to go home, to dress. In fact, they were arresting them and putting them at the security post. I was there that day and I saw students protesting that, no, nobody has right to do that. Yes, you know, I think we should do it in a more subtle way. Okay. Being good role models. We appeal to our celebrities that they are looking at also to dress well for them. Mothers to dress well for their daughters, fathers to dress well for their sons, community leaders to be good examples. When we have meetings, town hall meetings, seminars, workshops, let's talk about it in a way that it will pass the right message and not do it forcefully.
All right, thank you very much. Doctor, I'd like to use both now. Dr. Mrs. Omobola Thompson, I know you told me.
Go ahead.
She's a gender advocate, and we thank you for joining us on this conversation.
Thank you for
also thanking Comrade Leka Adebayo, a public affairs analyst and a social commentator. You also mentioned you're a lecturer. And so we want to thank both of you for actually speaking and shedding a lot of light on the conversation around emerging dress sense and social morality on behalf of the entire production crew of Saturday Special.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
We have to go at this point to the global updates. And yes, that is us saying let's follow through on some of the things that are happening away from the country, Nigeria.
If you stop your daughter.
It's another edition of Global Update on Saturday Special. My name is Bimbo Akambi. A fast-moving wildfire in Spain's southern Andalusia region has killed at least 12 people. Regional officials reported on Friday that the blaze was the deadliest recorded in the region, noting that several more people remained unaccounted for. Authorities have not pinpointed the cause of the fire, which occurred as the country endures soaring temperatures. The blaze broke out on Thursday afternoon near the M340 highway in the municipality of Los Galados in Almeria province. Strong winds quickly fanned the flames into the neighboring municipality of Beda. Emergency services discovered several of the victims trapped inside vehicles as they attempted to flee a rural hamlet. Local authorities reported. Authorities said they were continuing search operations. Andalusia's regional leader, Juanma Moreno, told the press that 19 people remained unaccounted for. Landslides, triggered by one of the strongest storms in decades, have killed at least 15 people in southern Philippines as parts of East Asia brace themselves for the looming storm. Typhoon Bavi, which spans 1,000 kilometers, that is about 620 miles, at its widest point, roughly the width of France, is sweeping across the Pacific towards Taiwan.
I don't think I'll be able to go outside later today or tomorrow, so I'm buying some things in advance.
I've never experienced a direct hit like this. I've been here when typhoons passed nearby, but nothing this severe.
We were fully reserved this weekend, but bookings were all cancelled, so it's painful.
It was a super typhoon, so there's no way we weren't coming back to shore. It's too dangerous out there, and it's unpredictable. If it starts moving faster and you're at sea, you won't have time to run.
It is expected to dump rain on Taiwan's north and east and on a chain of remote Japanese islands before making landfall in southeastern China on Saturday. Dozens of flights have been cancelled while schools have suspended classes across the region. Supermarket shelves have been wiped clean as residents stock up on supplies ahead of the typhoon. On the Philippine island of Mindanao, families have been buried overnight by landslides and rescuers are still searching for those missing. Moderate heavy winds will continue to drench parts of the country throughout the weekend, officials say. Bavi is said to be the largest storm by size to hit the island since 1987, Taiwan's Central Weather Administration told the press. In the meantime, Indian police said on Friday they had arrested dozens of people for violence and vandalism during protests this week over the rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl in an eastern state. The police said one innocent person had been lynched by angry crowds. Protesters had blocked roads and touched vehicles since the girl's body was found in a pond on Sunday, a day after she went missing in Barupur city of West Bengal state, about 30 kilometers, that's about 20 miles from Kolkata. Separately, police said they had shot dead one of 4 men who had been arrested for the girl's rape and murder. The suspect, Prabhas Mondal, was shot in the early hours of Wednesday while attempting to escape, having been taken to the crime scene as part of investigations, and police has said. Mondal's mother refused to accept his body, saying she did not want to bring it home because he did not do anything good. Suvendu Adhikari, who became West Bengal's chief minister after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party won state polls in May, said there will be no leniency for those committing crimes like rape and violence or for those beating innocent and blameless people to death. The Bayot
in a kind of